Hello and welcome, my fellow operatives. My name is the Nemesis James Taylor, and welcome back to the Nemesis Sessions, Chapter 9. This is the Irish Outlaw. We're doing part 2 of this podcast because we had some technical difficulties yesterday and situations. But hey, we're going to continue our talk and see if we can pick up from where we left off yesterday. So we were talking, Mr. Irish Outlaw, about your first title win and what that meant to you, what that was like, and everything, the hardships and all the stuff that you had gone through to get to that point in your career. What did that mean to you? And what has that done for your career?
Well, working as hard as I did, to even get to the world title picture, I had to do a lot of clawing and scratching. Um, I was in that mid card scene a lot. Before PWF, I was in this promotion known as PCW, and uh, before even the world title picture, I made history with introducing the UK title to that business. It later became the European Championship, went on to be bigger things. But as soon as I entered that world title picture, I felt like I had worked what I had worked for the last year and a half. And
Hey, Jose just dropped in. You might remember him as Jokes. He said, Irish Outlaw is a beast. Respect, my guy.
hey, jokes. He's a good guy, man. I think he's taken some time off. I'm not sure what he's doing. But I've had some run-ins with Jokes, whether it been down in my company or PWF, whatnot. He's a really good cat. Thanks for the compliment.
There you go.
Uh,
Awesome. We continue.
so when I won the world championship, it basically showed that hard work and determination pays off. Um, if you stick to your guns and you don't really get overworked about wins and losses, you're eventually your hard work in this business, whether it's promo, whatnot, it pays off. Everything pays off in the end. And from where it's gone, where my career has gone from that world title experience, I have now become a Grand Slam champion. I have won mid card champion. I've recently was a tag team champion, world champion. So basically right now with all this new talent that's coming around, these new promo artists, it's given me the chance to take the reins and kind of like mentor them and show them, you know, from somebody who has experience from these last, couple years, we've been putting on these promo shows. So that's where it's gotten me, honestly.
It's nice. Okay. Good deal. So I know that since PWF has been at a standstill, I mean, some people, there's rumors going around talking about PWF coming back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kill that shit right now. PWF is not dead. It's not going to be dead, but PWF is on a hiatus. PWF, I mean, if anything, if it comes back, it'll come back as just something, just to get, guys to just practice. It's like, if anything, it's like a practice ground, kind of like the performance center for WWE if it was to ever do something like that. But as of right now, no promotion. That's not going to be like competing against KCW, HCW, etc. PWF is just what it was, and not saying that it can never be again. It's just at the moment right now, especially with everything I'm doing, unless somebody wanted to take over it from me, and I entrusted them to it. Right now, it's just at a standstill, and it's just something to talk about and practice with. I'm doing TBW and I'm training these guys while I'm there, not only wrestling, but how to do promos. And I get to do that in person, which is really, really cool. So, oh my God, huh? Oh, Jordan Robertson saying, so am I. I am a god, ha. Okay, I guess Jordan Robertson is thinking that he's a god and we decided he wanted to say something to you. Irish, what do you got?
I mean, Jordan Robertson, you and several other people who think they're a god can stand in line in whatever wet dream section that is. I'm not sure.
Wow. Jokes are saying Irish Outlaw question. Who eyed your favorite commentary? I guess who is your favorite commentary person?
My favorite, like my favorite commentary, like in the promo business or professional.
Probably let's say promo business.
My favorite commentary person would have to be like okay, like James did good, but if you really wanted like a humoristic like feel to it, I'd have to put
Uh
Sinner
oh.
in that.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Hang on 1 second. Let's take you out.
Okay,
Let's edit your mics. There you are. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Hear you too. Perfect. God. Okay. What did he
All
say?
right. So
What was your response?
my response, like
He said,
I admit, both. Okay, so in the promo community, my favorite bit of commentary, James Taylor did good with that line. Oh, what a maneuver! But if you had to look at it from a humoristic point of view, I'd have to give it to Sinner. And professional, I mean, there's so many great styles of commentary. I mean, if you want down grit, I'd have to go with JR.
oh,
JR has always been a guy I would tune into for that feel of professional wrestling.
okay. Okay. What did you? What about with TBW? Josh Ross actually kind of mimics Jim Ross in his own way. Josh Riley, he calls himself Jr. Josh Ross, and man, when I made my debut, for instance, is a good example. I made my debut, and he sold the shit out of me. You know, whenever I came out and talking about the stunners and everything I was doing, I mean, he was just nailing it, and I was just like, wow. And then I had my matches. I had my match with Gage Flair. Doing it in person and in front of those people was one thing, but when I got to see and hear the commentary from the broadcast, it's like it brought the whole match to life. Have you
Yeah.
heard him? What do you think of him?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought when I first heard him, like he screamed, "It's the Nemesis! It's James Taylor!" I thought he had a nerdgasm for 2.3 seconds.
That was
Um,
uh, it was fun.
but
It was
but
definitely
it kind of brought back when he did that. It kind of brought back flashbacks of Jr. shouting Austin's name.
yeah.
Not gonna lie, kind of gave me a little bit of goosebumps when he did it. It was pretty. It was
So,
I tuned in when you said you were debuting in TBW, and I tuned in to watch. So
well, what was your honest opinion when you see me jerk that curtain out and I came out and I beat the hell out of Anthony Steele and gave him 3 stunners? I mean, your honest
I
opinion of that situation.
I looked at it and I was like, it's about time somebody shows up and like Anthony. I almost 100% guarantee Anthony Steele did not like for 1 second know you were actually going to show up. He didn't think you had the balls, and when you did, it looked like he shit a brick.
I know. It's
Um,
like he was like, "The hell, the hell are you doing here?" Jokes are saying Bobby versus Brock. Who will win? I'm gonna go with Brock, honestly.
I'm going to go with Brock, and I can break that down for you in context why I think Brock's going to win. If you want, um,
Go for it.
Brock's going to win because the plans are to unify the Universal and WWE championships at WrestleMania.
Really
Yes,
interesting. Interesting. That'd be really cool. Patchy Wrestler is saying, "Who is your favorite storytelling commentator?"
storytelling commentator.
Interesting question.
That is a really good question.
I'm gonna just go with Jim Ross for me for old school for the greatest of all time, but that's me personally. But how about you?
I would have to go. I'm gonna have to go outside of WWE with this one. I'm gonna have to go with Joey Styles.
Old Joey Styles. Okay, why do you like him a lot? You like
Uh,
his
he just
like?
brings he just brings the pop to the story. You know what I mean? And
Huh,
just his energy on the commentary table when a big feud would happen with like Rhino and Sabu or anything big like that. He just brought it to life behind the commentary table.
that's neat. That's neat. Jokes are saying, who remembers Fantasio in WWE? I don't know who that is. I don't remember him.
I don't remember who Fantasio is.
Kevin Zimmerman. Are we forgetting that the longest reigning cruiserweight champion is your best rival, Irish? I don't know who this is.
Uh,
Do you know who this is?
uh, the longest reigning cruiser, Kevin Zimmerman. Yeah, I don't know who you are. You'd have to give it like an in-ring name for me to.
Uh,
Kevin Zimmerman don't ring a bell to me.
maybe he'll respond back. Jokes are saying my favorite moment is when Mr. Taylor stunned Cooper, Stoner
I'm
Cooper.
gonna admit that was funny. That was great.
Did you see them
Yeah,
glass off his head?
those glasses flew off, and I was like, "Yep, should have seen that coming, Cupcake."
Oh man. Sinners in here saying the main man has arrived. Oh lordy. Pat, you said
The,
to your question about Joey Styles, um, God of PWF, Peter Richards. Which title is Irish said? Oh wait, which title is Irish sad he has never won yet? What title did Irish say he has never won yet?
I would say when we had to split brands in PWF, I never really got a shot at the Universal title.
Oh, okay, okay, understandable. And if that was an option for you, just hypothetically, not saying anything, not guaranteeing anything, hypothetically, you got the chance to compete again in PWF or any form of faction that has to do with it, and the Universal title was in your grasp, would you go for it?
Yes,
Definitely.
I,
Oh, okay. Irish question mark is ready, and he said Savage is ready. Um,
Savage, Savage, you're probably high on that 420 skunk weed. Go sit down somewhere and rest your neck.
he's smoking that skunk weed. Oh, Center said, look at my gorgeous suited up picture. That's because I know how to dress. Okay, well, nice praise to yourself. Apache Wrestling said the magician. Um, Kevin Zimmerman, I guess Savage said love. Okay, well, so let's go with in PWF. When you were a PWF superstar, you were having probably one of the greatest rivals with Peter Richards for sure.
Yeah,
But I was always curious, out of character, the back of your mind, or like maybe the one thing that kept you from everything. I'm not saying it was, but my question is, how did you feel going against James Taylor? Your honest opinion, out of character. Was it aggravating? Was it challenging? Did you learn anything from it? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a blast? I mean, I can ask them all at once, but I want to know your.
I mean, I could answer it all at once.
Okay.
The the feeling behind it was, it was an emotional roller coaster facing James Taylor because there's that feeling that I have never beaten James Taylor one on one. There's that anger going into it because you're going into it like knowing that this guy in front of you is one of the most cocky, arrogant promo superstars in the business, and never getting that edge over you was like one of the biggest thorns in my side. So, it was a thrill. You know what I mean? Every match, every promo, we didn't pull no punches. So,
That's
I
true.
think that's what makes great storytelling. And even though I didn't come on top, I had extreme amounts of fun telling the story.
But in a sort of way, you did at the very, very, very end. You finally got that one win over me. But that was through writing, not through the
Yeah,
game, and that was fun. And but I mean, I liked working with you, whether some people believe it or not. Even if it seemed like I was giving you a hard time, it was because I saw something in you, kid. I saw something in you, and I wanted to bring out the best that I could in you. It wasn't that I hated you. No, no, no. I did it with Peter Richards. I did it with anybody. I do it with everybody that I've ever gone against. Center can vouch for it too. I wanted to do what I could to get under that person's skin to bring out the fire that they have locked inside, because when they do, I'm not saying I'm the greatest promo artist in the world, no. I'm not saying I'm the greatest of all time, no. But all the skills that I've got in my experience and what I do have, I want to share it with the people that I work with, and that's what I try to do with you. And you've become what you have become, because when you first started, as good as you thought you were, now, over a year later, Irish, not to blow a bunch of smoke up your ass, but I think you're 10 times better now than you were a year and a half ago. And that's God's honest truth from me to you.
yeah. Well, I mean, when I first started, I was, just getting back into this promo game, right? And I just the whole new TikTok thing was new for me, because I was used to doing it, over a keyboard in a wrestling e-fed over, Instagram or Facebook or something like that. We didn't do it TikTok, and so the new TikTok, promo community was like a new thing for me. Draquan saw my little shoot I did on him when PCW was a thing. And when I came in, I thought I was hot shit, but I ran into massive roadblocks that proved to shut that shit down. And
Yeah.
from the lessons I've learned from then till now, it's made me into a better person. Do I think I'm better than anybody else still? No, I'm not going to say I'm better than this person or that person. But when it comes to, like people, I'd say I still have work to catch up to are people like, you know, Peter Richards. I'd even put Buddha on that list. Um, Hell, as cocky and arrogant as he is, he's still a damn good promo artist. And I know he's in this chat center. Um,
Yeah. I totally understand. Patrick Resnick saying, any possible way you could get the TBW champ in here? Well, all I need you to do, and this is for everybody at home listening to this right now, especially you, Apache, go on the TBW Facebook page, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the TikTok, go on YouTube, and demand that you get the superstars you want to see on this podcast, especially if it's Daniel Cole, especially Gage Flair, Ledger, anybody that you're wanting. If you want to see Joshua Al again, if you want to see Atomic Titan again, any, put it in their comments and let them know and demand that the TBW universe wants to see these guys talk to James Taylor. And I
hey,
promise.
before you get Atomic Titan on here again, you'd probably have to make sure with his agents that it's okay to, show back up because I know he has a busy schedule between TBW and doing the Bieber impersonations in Vegas. So,
Center is saying, who is, in your opinion, the greatest on the mic right now, Irish and James? Are you talking about in the promo world? Or are you talking about uh, in
you got,
WWE?
yeah, well, are you talking promo world or AEW and WWE? Be specific.
I have no idea. I guess we'll find out and wait what he says. Kevin Edward Savage said, heard from a little birdie. Irish Outlaw came in on here and mentioned ONS.
Yeah, what do you what? Yeah, I did mention One Night Sally's. What about it?
One Night Sally's. I gotta know about this. Real quick, everybody that's watching, please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get Irish Outlaw all the likes that we can, and let's get that algorithm going and spread the word for Irish Outlaw so that way everybody in the whole world knows who he is. So tell me about ONS. What is this
Listen. ONS was a group that was started in the KCW universe, right? And it was supposed to be a group kind of like the Pillars, the main guys that were part of PCW/PWF and
he,
came in.
he said we got a receipt coming for you at Crash Course. Ooh. Ooh. Go ahead.
Oh.
Get him, Irish.
Anyways, enough of that hot garbage. Um, there was a group that consisted of me and Zach Storm, Tim Hansen, and Jared, aka Maniac. And at the time, it was supposed to be just us four. The pillars that have held this family, this promo family together. I'm not taking anything away from Dre Quan, but he wanted to do his own thing. But anyway, then all of a sudden, the boss of KCW threw Savage Machismo, whether he believes he was picked or not. He wasn't. He was tossed in like a lost puppy dog by the boss and said, can you do something with him? Maybe he'll shine as a part of ONS. Well, then Sarge came in because Zach Storm got hurt. And then I decided to stab ONS in the back, which they believe I did the same to the Elite Operatives back in PWF. No, I decided to walk away from that one under my own terms. But ONS seems to have their wedgies up too far up their ass crack right now. They have a sick fascination with like chasing me down every week. It's weird.
Interesting. Peter Richards says when it's convenient, he wants to hear Irish give his PWF versus TBW match ideas. That's something me and Peter were talking about. Some other podcasts. Uh, if you were to choose dream matches, guys from PWF versus guys from matches, team matches, what would be some matches that you would find interesting that you would like to see? Law versus somebody, or anything. Like we came up with Center versus Anthony Steele would be interesting.
I think that would be a squash match up for Sinner. I'm not gonna. But I'd like to see Anthony Steele go one-on-one with Leach.
With Leach, okay.
With Leach, I think I would like to see Irish Outlaw and Ledger.
You like
Ledger? I like the style of the kid. I like the determination. I like the attitude that he brings. Now I'd say I could see Atomic Titan going one-on-one with somebody like I could see Sinner and Atomic Titan. Yeah. Gage Flair versus Peter Richards.
What did you think? Speaking of Gage Flair, what did you think of the match between Gage Flair and myself? If you watched it,
I think Gage Flair. To be honest, this is my honest opinion. I watched the match, and I think Gage Flair had your number. The only problem he has is he likes to strut around and act like the nature boy one too many times rather than get the job done.
He got hit by that stunner 3 different times. 2 of those times though I couldn't capitalize because I was hurting. So that, especially that second time after that figure 4, I couldn't counter that figure 4. So luckily I got that rope break. But then when he's sitting there strutting around like, oh yeah, I got James Taylor, wham! I knocked his ass out, but I couldn't get over there to him in time. My leg was hurting like a motherfucker. Finally, he got up. He was going for the pedigree. First, no, I decided, I don't know what I was thinking, but I decided to hit him with that pedigree, but he countered it in a backdrop. Then he was going to hit me with a pedigree, and I said, nuh-uh, jackass. I backdropped him, and then wham, knocked his lights out, and I got that 1, 2, 3, and nobody expected that. But I proved to the world that I am the man, especially in all of backyard wrestling, and I proved it to Gage Flair and to TBW and the TBW universe. So were you shocked to see that win as well, or were you surprised, or were you just like I expected it?
I mean, I wouldn't like if I was to say I was expecting it, I'd be lying because anything can happen in the business. One person could take too long taunting the fans, or take their eye off the ball for 1 second. I mean, if you watch AEW last night, Wardlow was too busy power bombing CM Punk, listening to MJF, and he got fruit roll up for the 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was expecting it, but like if I could give Gage Flair any advice at all, stop taunting so much.
There you go. Center says he would mop the floor with Atomic Dwarf. Buddha's in here. Welcome, Buddha. What is your dream match in AEW or WWE?
AEW or WWE, I would have to say Buddha because this whole Forbidden Door thing getting kicked wide open. And I can see it happening down the line where WWE and AEW end up working with each other, sharing talent, whatnot. I could see it happening. So a dream match for me, like, would probably be Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega. Um, but if we're talking like AEW and WWE now, just as separate companies,
Yeah.
I would have to say Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page in AEW, or CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page, um, Malachi Black versus Adam Page, or Adam Cole, or as far as WWE, I mean WWE would have to stop letting go of a bunch of talent for me to even like begin to pinpoint a dream match for WWE at this point.
Joke said center Fat Tista Flair would be.
Sinner Fatista.
Oh wow. Uh,
Jo-
said who is the best on the mic? WWE and AEW. It has to be MJF for me.
I mean, if I have to go all time, I mean present, yeah, you have an argument there, but if you're going all time, I would have to go with Jericho because he's got the total. He like it doesn't matter what he does, he excels at it. If it's in ring, he excels. If it's on the mic, he excels, and he has the ability to break down his opponent, not just mentally but emotionally.
Right. Right. I hear you on that one. You talk about if it was the greatest of all time. If there's so many, it'd be a tie between Austin Rock and Ric Flair for me. If it was of all time, current, I'd say the Miz. I think Miz is he's a silver tongued devil, exactly like Austin told him one time. I like Miz on the mic, and that's the one thing. I used to hate Miz. I despised Miz, just like MJF. I despise that motherfucker. But the more I listened to him, the more I watched him, the more I accepted him, and the more I respected him. And MJF, I'm sure, will be like that too. He's a great heel in the business right now. He's hotter and hot.
Damn great
I
heel, damn great heel.
I would love to see a battle between MJF and Miz, and then an actual match between MJF and Miz. And CM Punk said that he's just a weaker version of Miz or whatever. I thought that was hilarious, but man,
I thought that was a great shot between the two companies. To be honest, I thought that was. I mean, and now if I'm gonna like critique the business a little bit, I think that WWE is trying too hard with trying to replicate, or what's the word, replicate
yeah,
the MJF and Punk scenario over on AEW with Edge and Miz.
yeah, interesting, very
I
interesting.
mean, it's interesting. What is
Wrestling would say, what do you think is the match of the year? TBW. Well, season finale 5 has not aired just yet. I wouldn't say. I mean, but before season finale 5,
I mean, before, I mean, I'd have to watch the season finale, but before that, I mean,
I
there's so many because why I give you guys so much crap, I actually tune into your guys' product, and it's actually you guys do actually put on great well, aside for Anthony Steele, but
I've been told
but
already that mine and Gage's match was a badass match because I wasn't letting up and I wanted to, make it look as good as we could. And
I
then,
mean, I would put yours and Gage's match in the top three,
yeah,
but I would have to say the match of the year would have to be the Rumble match where Ledger came out on top.
the whole match, yeah. Me and Anthony started that Rumble. We started the fire on that Rumble. And
Now I have a question for you. In that Rumble, were you guys planning for that turnbuckle to come apart?
no, no, it just did. It just did.
And
Hard. That's how hard I was kneeing. Put my knee in Anthony's gut. I made that turnbuckle come undone. Duplexed his ass, and then I got it and fixed it. But that's how hard I am. So if you want to know how,
my question for Anthony Steele, if he's in here, that little twat waffle, is while James took the time to fix the turnbuckle, why didn't you be an ultimate opportunist, sneak up behind him and throw him over the rope?
because he's an idiot. Because he's a freaking idiot. Sinner's asking a decent question. What inspired the creation of the Irish Outlaw?
Um, my father, he was really into cowboy and outlaw movies, and my dad was my dad was full blooded Irish.
Okay.
And so I kind of took his love for cowboy outlaw movie type movies and the fact that he was Irish, and I put that together and made the Irish Outlaw. And I've had in other promotions I've gone to, people ask me if I would drop the Irish Outlaw gimmick,
Right.
and I don't see me doing that because it's a patronage to my father who isn't here anymore. So
Understandable, respectable, and that's absolutely fine. So if you can, if not, you don't have to. Um, since PWF has basically been done for a while, you went and started HCW. What does HCW stand for, and um what was the inspiration for you to create it?
um basically, okay, so HCW stands for Hardcore Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
Basically another promotion that's a promo promotion on TikTok that I started up, and my inspiration was, I wanted a company where guys could get out of the box. Certain promotions don't allow them to use certain, words. You know what I mean? I want this promotion to be where they could hit their opponent hard. With a there is a set guideline of rules that need to be followed, but they could come out a little bit more out of their box than what they're used to, and and it's flourished. It's gone on for 13 weeks. We have Icarus Haxon as our world champion right now.
Okay.
Um,
Well, interesting. I know you had a little feud slowly kind of building with him. What happened with that?
I think with Icarus Haxon, we decided that we would team up. We would be better off like teaming up. We're in the works of planning something.
Mm-hmm.
We're a faction that is going to go to war with One Night Sally's. For
One night Sally's. I like it.
you know, it's it's a company that basically I took inspiration.
Our center saying, "Bring PWF back." There's nothing holding it back. Well, we'll see, buddy. We'll see. But let's see. Peter Richards is saying, if Irish can go back and change one outcome in PWF or PCW, what would he change? Any match. Good question. Interesting question.
That is an interesting question. I'll start with PCW first. All right, I would fix management in that son of a bitch. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would fire Kent. I wouldn't have even hired Drake the True Steak as a fucking owner or manager. I probably would have had a set foundation for that company. Because let's be real, the inmates ran that asylum.
Oh god,
Um,
yeah, yeah. But if
um,
there was a match in PCW that you could change the outcome of it, what would it have been that you can remember?
PCW. I mean, that's. I would have to say for PCW, it would be. It would be that triple threat match for the PCW title with Drake Juan and Drake the True Snake. The I would have put in a shock factor, honestly, having some, I would have had the underdog win that story, like as a shock value. PWF, there's really, you know,
PWF has got matches that are actually in the history books, and it's for everybody to see on YouTube. So you can always go back and watch and say, "I remember that night. I remember doing it."
I would say the United States Championship with Rage. I would because because I was not ready for Rage. He kind of just came out of left field, and I did not know how to go about that character at all.
It was a little bit hard, wasn't it?
It was.
Sometimes that's the ultimate test. Sometimes you might get thrown a swerve ball and or a curve ball, and you might have to figure something out just off the top of your whim and figure it out, and that's what elevates you and what can mold you into the diamond that you're meant to be. That was probably a test for you, and you're not going to fail every test, but every time you fail, all it means is that you tried, and you can fail as many times as you want. It's until that time comes when you finally succeed, like when you said you won your
Mhm.
first world title. You failed, you failed, you failed, but then that night finally happened and you got it. That had to have meant more than just, oh, here's a championship. Here you go. And that's another subject I could get into.
It's funny. It's funny because going back to that topic is, there's people from the PWF roster who still, give me crap for it took you 7 times to beat Peter Richards, and it's like, well, none of y'all stepped up. None of y'all, and
Center saying just one more Peter versus Irish match. Just one more. I guess Peter Richards would be considered Irish Outlaw's greatest rival.
if we never really got a Slammy Awards to end PWF, we really didn't, before we went
I
on
know,
that hiatus.
I know that's the hint, hint. Don't worry, there's something coming for that. There's
But
something.
if I had, but yes, if I had to give my Mount Rushmore of greatest opponents, it would be Peter Richards at number one. Then you have Nemesis, James Taylor, number two. Then you have Lethal Injection, because when me and Lethal went at it, we went back and forth. And The fourth spot, yeah, I don't want to boost his ego, so I'm sorry, Sinner, you won't be on the Mount Rushmore. But I would have to say Joey Knight Jr. I'd have to say Joey Knight Jr. because the United States Championship match me and him put on, we went back and forth, and it really told a story.
You know,
Uh,
Joey Knight ended up winning the PWF World Heavyweight Championship right before we stopped. So he is officially the last one for right now. He was the PWF World's Heavyweight Champion. He finally earned it himself. Unfortunately, he hasn't got to defend it and do all that, but it is what it is. Mr. Zimmerman said it's the champion's one night stand to you. Let James Taylor point something out on that. Why would you call yourselves one night stands? Are you saying that you're a group of sluts, like going around finding the first person that you can jump on their dick and then ride it for that one night and be done? What's the deal? ONS. Come on now.
One night stand. It sounds like you're going picking up a couple fucking streetwalkers and having a one night sex parlay and
Mm-hmm.
then dumping her off on the next street corner you see.
Center is saying if you could bring back PWF Irish as creative or a GM, what would you do? What's the plan? And what would you change for the better? Basically, I guess if I gave you the keys to PWF and you could do whatever you wanted with it, what would you do?
Basically, I wouldn't put up with no slack. Basically, if you're gonna be hired to PWF, if you're gonna get hired to PWF and I was under creative or general manager control, I would make sure you put in the work, or I would be wishing you luck on your future endeavors. Because it's not just gonna titles aren't just gonna be handed to people sitting on their butt, thinking they can just sit around, not do a promo, and expect to win. No, you have in the business. No matter where you are, you have to put in the work. You have to show up to work to get the rewards.
Oh,
Um,
right.
Two, I would. This is nothing against James's version of PWF, but I would narrow down the title selection
Yeah.
just a little bit, just a little bit. Give it more. Less titles means more competition, more than random. You have a title here, a title here, and a title here. And I think I would just stick to one super show rather than a split brand type. And kind of make it more like a AEW type style feel, where it's one giant roster fighting for you know 3 or 4 mainstream, and then you have your tag team titles.
There you go. Sounds good to me. That sounds like a winner. That'd be pretty cool. Hen Dog versus Triple J in a who's got the biggest ego.
Oh, oh, bro, that's not even a question. Hendog still thinks he's 107, 87-0.
Yeah, no. Whatever happened to old Hen Dog? I ain't heard much from him lately.
He's over there. He's over there in KCW, and he'll come in there and troll, and he's over in HCW as well. He's helping teach the new talent. He's more of a backstage guy, really, at this moment. But he does have matches. But he's teaching more of the up and coming promo talent. That's still wet behind the ears.
Kid Richard said Tulsa has some fine one night stand corner hoggers.
Yeah, one of them's name is Peter Richards.
Oh man. Oh my God, James, you got to get Henny on a podcast. Sign him up. Sign him up. Tell him to DM me. My DMs are open. Definitely, they are open. Uh, so, if you were to pick a Mount Rushmore from PWF, not of rivals, but like legit, like kind of like what Undertaker did his Mount Rushmore. Um, who would your Mount Rushmore be from PWF? And no kissing ass, just straight shoot. Who do you think? And I mean, the guys that you think were the four standards to you in PWF. If you put yourself up there, that's fine. But you see how Taker did it. Taker didn't even put himself up on there.
Oh no, like if I'm thinking PWF, I wouldn't look at myself as one of the standard pillars of
Yeah.
that that company. I would look more like along the lines of Buddha.
Hmm.
Buddha he was like the glue that kept us all together. Um, Drake, Lethal Injection. Um, and I just think because of the communication skills, I would put Peter Richards. Because the reason why I wouldn't put you up on that Mount Rushmore is because you were more of helping the guys get their pop in PWF.
That's
Helping the younger guys out get known.
right.
But I would put those four as a Mount Rushmore, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Center saying for me, it's always James, Buddha, Peter, and Draquan, and then
It sounds like you're doing a lot of brown nose in there, Sinner.
Peter said Raekwon, Buddha, Lethal, and Joey. Which he probably agrees with you when it comes to like not putting me on there because I mean you're right, you're absolutely right. I wouldn't even put myself on there because I was more the owner and helping get the talent, giving y'all the spotlight. That's the way I was
Yeah,
because like I mean you don't see Vince McMahon on a Mount Rushmore, for superstars.
yeah.
But
You
in
know,
the
I kind of got the concept. I didn't mean to cut you off, but with HCW, I kind of do this thing where my character hasn't gone for any titles,
you
right?
kind of carrying the same thing that I did, right?
Yeah, kind of similar. Yeah, I basically come over there. I'll put you over if I feel I'm going to put you over, give you a shine in the spotlight, or B, I'm going to pound your head in the mat and show you why I'm the boss. But I haven't gone for any major title in my company. Um, will I? Will I say I won't ever go for a title in my company? Probably. Probably down the line. But I want everybody to get that shot first.
Yeah, that's how I was, and that's what I was thinking. And I had plans for eventually one time winning the championship, just because I did it at least once, and because I was having a belt created, which I still am having that same belt created for my own personal reference at this point. Is I'm going to show it off, tease everybody. But I mean, but that's I think is the the way a great owner should be. I mean, don't hog the spotlight, give it to everybody else, and give
Yeah.
them. And now, oh, excuse me, I was a competitor in PCW. What would you say your Mount Rushmore from PCW would have been?
Oh man, that's so long ago. I freaking forgot how half the talent that was on. But
I think PCW it had a hot little run for 4 months. In a way, in a sort of way, it's almost like it didn't count. If anything, to me, PCW was more of the stepping stone for what PWF became. You know what I mean?
uh, if I had to choose a Mount Rushmore for PCW, uh, I would just have to say at that point, like other than the main champions, everybody was on an equilibrium level. Like it was like everybody was just like wet behind the ears. Other than the people who were actually, like you and Peter. The rest of the roster, at that point was still catching their bearings. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Um, and it was too. Other than that, I can't really place a Mount Rushmore for. I mean, I guess I could put A1 Nero. On that list as well because look what he's become from where he started. You know what I mean? Top five heels in PWF. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna toot my horn there, but I was a heel for a year and 6 months and some change, before I came to this new company and decided to turn face. But um, I would have to put myself on there. I was a big heel. Sinner, you were just an obnoxious heel that everybody wanted to punch in the face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Peter Richard.
Spencer was a great heel when Spencer was around.
Oh,
Um, I can't say that I ever looked at Peter Richards as a face. I
yeah.
always saw his character as a heel. Um, and then Joey, I would have to put the Enders as a whole, as a group, as heels.
Center saying he is at PWF's MJF. Peter Richards and the new superstars Icarus, Center, Zach, and Lucifer. What do you mean?
I don't know if anybody has been catching up with Zach, but he recently retired from promo wrestling.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Zach was just he was just dealing with a lot personally. Uh, his schooling, work, all that, and a lot of personal family related issues caught up, and he really didn't feel like he was on that level that he once was, and he was constantly doubting himself,
Hmm.
and so he decided to step back. So you know,
Like,
I sometimes in this business you got to do that, and stuff like that happens. And it's nothing against Zach. He's one hell of a dude. Me and him talk on a personal level. Um, me and Zach, if you had to go back to the question of one of my greatest feuds, Zach Storm would be on that list. Me and him started in this business together. We debuted together against each other. And I feel bad because I ended up hurting that kid in his first match. And then he went away for 6 months and then came back and waited another 4 months before getting revenge.
top five
Top five
KCW, HCW.
case. Do I have to mention the one night Sally's?
You
Like it
don't have.
seems at this point, Savage Machismo. That's who that is right there. That's looking for his name on the list somewhere. Savage, no, you're just like a fucking butt pimple that won't fucking pop. That's what you are.
Oh, he's a butt pimple.
Um, in HCW, I would have to like. There's so much talent in KCW and HCW right now, but if I had to choose top five heels, I'd have to put Tim. Tim at that. Tim is he's portraying that heel Triple H persona,
Right.
where he would pull out any stop to win. Um, Prometheus and Hen Dog, I'd say are two heels. Um, I haven't really seen Sinner like debut in KCW yet, but HCW, I'd place him as one of those heels because he's still that guy who's gonna get under your skin.
Yeah.
Um, Savage Machi. To be honest, Savage, like I wouldn't put you as a heel. I would say that you're like an in betweener, because like
Betweener.
yeah, you're an in betweener, like in between fucking Tim Hansen's legs, and like uh,
we're getting well. It's all good. We're getting some definitely some questions and stuff. Let's see. I almost can't keep up. Top stables in PCW or PWF. Like, what would probably be PCW/PWF? What was probably your top two? I'm gonna go because there's not a number. Your top two stables. or factions?
I would have had to go with Stables, the Elite Operatives, and the UK Wolfpack because the Asylum was a joke.
Okay. Okay. Um, how about we put me, James, Buddha, and Peter and Irish against ONS?
We want. We don't want to kill them.
One, two,
That's
three,
a squat.
five,
That's
five
that's
against
that's a squash match.
dude. We wiped the floor with their sorry asses. If promo wrestling had a Hall of Fame, who would you put as your first person? Peter says he'd put Leech.
You go sit in timeout right now, Peter. Right now for that blasphemy. You go. You go sit down. I would put Hall of Famers. I would have to put Lethal Injection in there. Um,
I put Buddha.
as um, my top three that I would put in the Hall of Fame is Lethal, Buddha, and Peter. I know in HCW the first Hall of Famer over there is Zach Storm. Um,
I need to do a PWF Hall of Fame, I guess, don't I? Hey, y'all subscribe and like the podcast if you want me to do a Hall of Fame for PWF. Peter Richards at center, that would murder ONS. Leach came in here, so thank you for the kind words, Peter. And then
oh, is that Leech?
yeah, Leach's YouTube Van Tricks. So welcome, Leach. How you doing today?
I
Book
wonder if this man has any questions.
book it. The retirement fund versus ONS. Look here, Savage. I'm going to tell you straight up, kid. You know all about what the Nemesis James Taylor is about. Okay, kid? If I had to turn that James Taylor mode on for one split second, ONS is a joke. All you are is a bunch of little crybaby bitches that need to have championships in your hands to think you're irrelevant to anything when it comes to promo wrestling. If you put any of us, the retirement fund, we would stomp your sorry rotten asses. There, you wouldn't hear of ONS ever again because that's exactly what it would be. A one night stand. It'd be one night and we'd knock you out, plain and
It,
simple.
it wouldn't even be one night. You see ONS, Savage. Let me break down your ONS group's slogan here. It takes one night to whoop your ass. But it would take the retirement fund 15 minutes to whoop ONS's ass. It wouldn't take a whole night. Just 15 minutes, if that.
I can do it with one arm tied behind my back. He said, "Party's over, Grandpa." Well, if it's over and I'm the grandpa, you're grounded. Go to your room, you little brat. Uh, Center said PWF Slammy Awards and Hall of Fame could happen, hosted by reporter John. Oh my god.
Reporter John's still a thing.
I guess so. ONS is the Wish version of the Elite Operatives. Hell, the Enders would whip ONS before the bell even rung.
No, look, you're giving them too much credit. It's the Make a Wish Foundation of the Elite Operatives. Okay, it's not the Wish version.
There you go. There you go. No pudding for you, sir. Okay, okay. Uh hey, he said, "Yo, center." That sounded sus. Oh man, one night stand, one night with me. They won't be able to stand. Oh,
Hey,
I
he's got a
see.
point that sounded sus.
Oh wow. So let me ask you, Irish, when it comes to championships, do you feel a superstar can become more irrelevant by working for that title and then finally getting it? Or do you think it doesn't matter and a guy should just come in and he gets like two or three wins under his belt, he thinks he should be champion? And then on top of that, to add to the question, do you believe in your heart that the championship makes the superstar, or do you believe the superstar is actually what makes the championship?
That's a very good question. To answer your first half of that question, I think a person that comes in and gets two wins under their belt that doesn't mean you're title worthy. That 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 means you come in here, you prove you belong here. That's what that means. That means you come in here, you prove you can not only last on the mic but in the ring. You pick up yourself a couple victories. That doesn't mean you go jumping for joy and think and expect a title.
Mhm.
No, you have to work hard. Like Edge says, get down and with good hard grit and work your way up to a title. Show why you deserve a title, you know, and
Yep.
make sure if you're going after a title, make sure to make the story believable, you know.
Mhm.
Um, not like some people, you work hard to get a world title and then retire after a week or vacate the title after a week.
Ooh,
Um,
ooh,
yeah, Sinner. Yeah.
ooh,
Um,
burn.
but and I don't think the title makes the superstar. I don't, because the title's just a piece of equipment. Okay, if you become a champion and you drop the ball, then you lose. You fall off. You end up losing the belt. You fall off, and then you end up like R-Truth in the 24/7 title picture somewhere. And possibly on risk of getting fired.
And it
You have.
can't even keep up with how many times he's won it. I lost count, and I honestly, that's just how I put it. But you're absolutely right. That was the correct answer. The correct answer is that the superstar should make the title. Because if that superstar is relying on the title to make him irrelevant, then he's, in my eyes, like when champion, every time I held that title, I was talking about the title. I was talking about why I am the greatest because I have that championship, because that championship means everything to me. And I didn't think that I was the greatest because I'm me. I thought or said that I was the greatest because the title is what makes me the greatest and nothing's going to take it from me. Everybody is their own way with it, but that's how I did it. Look at as being a champion, watcher would want to admit it or not, honestly, my name is I don't even have to be champion. I haven't been champion in over a year almost. And people want to face me because of me, not because I'm a champion. If you can make your name irrelevant for who you are from being a champion, then there you go. But if you can't, and all you're relying on, oh, he's the PWF world champion. What's his name? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not instead it should be like, oh shit, that's James Taylor. That's the PW World's Heavyweight Champion. That's Irish Outlaw. He's the who's the champion again? You know what I mean? See where I'm going with this. Peter says, in all seriousness, would Irish ever want to sing W and do his dream match with Ledger? Good
Um,
question. Ledger, if you're watching, which I know you will be or you are, um, is the
a
guy
hundred per-
face you. He wants to have a match with you.
100%, 100%. I would save up and come down to TBW and have that match. 100%. I see potential in that kid. To be able to roll in the ring with that a talent like that would be great.
Now,
Um,
what about me to actually go face to face with me? Would you even want to do that?
I would, but I would love to, but when the time comes, I'll make sure to bring you a life alert. That way, if you break your hip on your fall down to the ring, you can press
everybody's
that little
got
button.
everybody's got jokes, but how come nobody's saying something like that about Edge? Edge is almost 50 years old. He's older than me, and he's going out there doing it. I could do it too. And I
All
was
right,
saying
man.
this.
My phone's about to die, so I'm gonna have to get off here.
All right, so let's go ahead. We'll end it. Irish, I want to thank you for coming out today. being on the Nemesis sessions. It was a pleasure having you. Would you come back again?
I definitely would come back again.
All right, man. Well, we will see you down the road, and I
All
thank you
right,
for
man.
coming. Um, I'll go ahead and I'll let you out, and I can keep it going for a few more minutes. So please, everybody, comment down right now if you're still in here, or leave a comment in the comment section below, and let me know who you want to see next here on the Nemesis sessions. I've got a few people lined up. Gonna have some exciting guests, some surprise guests, but I can always have anybody and everybody that would like to be a part of this. I'm going to ask you questions just like I did with Irish Outlaw. We had Irish today, got clips that we can show whenever we get to talking, and line up all the questions that you want and come interact with the superstars that you want to see, whether it's from PWF, PCW, HCW, whatever. If it's TBW, it doesn't matter. Type in and name the guys that you want to see on this podcast, and we will get them here to the best that we can and talk with them. I'll be getting Nemesis and Joshua Allen on the center's stories soon, ladies and gents. Buddha! Yes, we will have a Buddha. We will have a Buddha because it is coming. HCW Chaos 14. Gotcha. Guys, if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. um, Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with all your friends and family on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok. Let them know about this. Have them come to my channel. Check this out. And I will catch your asses down the road. And we will see you on the next chapter, chapter 10. We got to get all the PWF originals on one big podcast. That, that right there is a hell of an idea. We will definitely have to check that out. So please stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next episode.